let's get into the teams for this third battle. The first team being the Philadelphia Infinite Fusions, led by SB, playing for the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Immediately, I am terrified of what I'm seeing on this team. The Toxapex and Hisuian Decidueye OU picks, just terrifying. So scary to me. Toxapex is dumb. I hate Toxapex. It's so chonky. The UU picks of this team being the namesake Espeon and the Floatzel as well. Floatzel being really good, just a really good offensive water type. We see the Argumons coming in with Zoroark, Typhlosion, and Sigilyph. Zoroark being my boy, I love Zoroark. And Typhlosion able to run some pretty good, just really strong moves, really good type coverage moves as well. The NU picks of this team being the Linoon, the Drapion, and the Galarian Sunfisk, Lord Cheese himself, which nobody besides the two people in this chat will know what Lord Cheese means. And we see the PU picks of Murkrow, Meowstic, Unpheasant, and Solrock. The Murkrow, of course, being a really good stat clear, or trap clearer, with the, with the Eviolite usage on that. What did Toxapex do to me? Toxapex is mean. It's so bulky, and it's just so hard to kill. Again, just looking at this team, it's a really interestingly built team, I would say, but also really strong. Like the more interesting picks, like the Solrock, like the Galarian Sunfisk, like the Murkrow, Linoon, they all have potential to just be really, really strong. Even though they're like more of the out there quote unquote Pokemon. And of course the Hisuian Decidueye is fantastic. I don't know too much about it because, again, I haven't really played competitive since Sword and Shield, but I know Hisuian Decidueye has a great typing, and it also has a really great move, which I don't remember what exactly it does, but, and of course Espeon just being really strong and really having a really high special attack stat just naturally. So much you can do with this team, and I'm really interested to see how this team will play out throughout the next 15 plus weeks. The opponents of the Philadelphia Infinite Fusions, which of course is the absolute longest name of the league, is the Philadelphia Infinite Fusions. The opponents are the Sylphian, led by Susumi, who is in chat as well right now, playing for the American Cancer Society. I do have to say, this is one of my favorite team sheets that I made. I love the pink and the blue combination. I love it. So we see the OU picks from this team being the two other Hisuian starters, Typhlosion and Samurott Hisuian. Again, not really two Pokemon that I know too much about, just that they look cool, they're really good, and their signature moves are great. We see the UU picks of Tinkaton and Flamigo. Again, Gen 9 Pokemon, don't know too much about them. Besides the fact that Flamigo carried me through the game, so I can only assume that Flamigo's a good Pokemon, right? Really good typing with the flying fighting type, only having one other Pokemon, I believe, with the Hawlucha having that same typing. We see the RU picks being the namesake Pokemon, Sylveon, Aurorus, and Pangoro. 3 Gen 6 Pokemon, I'm realizing, X and Y Pokemon. Awesome, I love it. The NU Pokemon with Escavalier, Golurk, and Alolan Executor. And the PU Pokemon being Indeedee, female Indeedee, which I had on my team last time around, which was really, really good. I loved it. Indeedee was really good. Meganium, really good screen setter, I believe. We have the other Lord Cheese, Stunfisk, and Flareon. How do we just so happen to have the two Lord Cheese trainers battling each other week 1? Man. So, a little backstory to that inside joke that we have. Lord Cheese, during Dynamax Adventures, Stunfisk and Galarian Sunfisk were the two best Pokemon against Raikou. Sunfisk and Galarian Sunfisk. So, I don't know how the meme came up, but I was like, I hate this Pokemon, but we have to get Sunfisk. So Sunfisk ended up just becoming a meme, ended up adopting the nickname Lord Cheese, and I ended up getting a shiny Galarian Sunfisk, who I promptly named Lord Cheese. Yeah, so this is another really strong potential of this team. I am seeing some Might Screenplay potential. Otherwise, just really chunky Pokemon, really strong, hard-hitting Pokemon as well, that I'm really curious to see what this team can do with them. And the 2 trans people of the league, it's a battle. Amazing. Let's see the starting lineup of these 2 teams. We see the Infinite Fusions leading with this Meowstic hidden behind the Drapion. We see their namesake Pokemon, Espeon, the Typhlosion, the Murkrow, wow, that was hard to say, and the Solrock. A lot of just defensive mons this time around, with some hard-hitting mons too, like this Drapion potential, the setup screen potential, and of course Typhlosion being able to hit really hard. And then for the Sylphic Sylveon, I need help with words every day. The Sylphic Sylveon leading with the Hisuian Samurott, Hisuian Typhlosion, the Indeedee, Tinkaton, Alolan Executor, and Pangoro. Look at this chunkin' man, he's ready to punch things. I don't really know much to say about this team, just that strong team looking at strong team. Let's get this party started. The Philadelphia Infinite Fusions will be leading with the Meowstic and the Sylphic Sylveon with the Hisuian Samurott. The Meowstic immediately setting up the Reflect, with the Ceaseless Edge being set up with the Samurott, which sets up a layer of spikes immediately, and another Ceaseless Edge to set up another layer of spikes. The Meowstic almost gone, but swapping out into the Drapion to take in this resisted Ceaseless Edge hit to get the 3 layers of Toxic Spikes down on this team. Then switches out right into the Pangoro with the Drapion then going for the knockoff, only doing 10% and taking off the Choice Band, which is a scary pick for that Pangoro. The Cross Poison then landing, poisoning the Kung Fu Panda, with the knockoff then coming in return to knock this Landsat Barrier off of this Drapion. And the Drapion going for another Cross Poison, almost knocking it out, but not quite, with the Drain Punch able to do some damage, but not enough to get the recovery to take it positive from the poison. The Felstinger then nearly knocking out, but not quite enough. The Drain Punch then coming in. It's not enough, but it does not fall to Felstinger, so Drapion does not get that 3 times attack boost, or plus 3 attack boost. Then the Samurott then comes back in and goes for the Razor Shell to knock down the rest of this Drapion. The Reflect then wearing off this turn. The Meowstic then coming in and falling immediately to the spikes and wasting the Light Screen turn as well. No, it doesn't waste Light Screen turn, never mind. Samurott switches into the Indeedee, or King Dedede. The Meanlo coming in from the Murkrow, and the Fake Out then hitting the Murkrow for a little bit, getting hit by the Rocky Helmet, and of course flinching the Murkrow. And the Parasong coming in from the Murkrow as well, but the Play Rough is able to take down the Murkrow with a crit. Of course, getting a little bit of chip damage from the Rocky Helmet. Bird up, bird down. The Solrock then comes in to replace the fallen Murkrow, with the knockoff doing almost half the damage of the Solrock and knocking off the Guava Berry. The Zen Headbutt doing just a little bit of chip damage. And of course the Parasong falling to 2 turns. Another knockoff hit doing less damage because there's no item to knock off anymore. But the Morning Sun recovery from the Solrock, able to get it heal a little bit. And next turn, the Tinkaton will fall. The Gigaton Hammer coming in and finishing off the Solrock as the Tinkaton falls. So really good trade there. Hades, the Hisuian Typhlosion, swaps in for against the regular Typhlosion, and the Metronome is frisked. Swaps immediately out into the Hisuian Samurott, and the Typhlosion going for Protect to kind of just see what happens here. And the Eruption not doing too much damage, with the Razor Shell able to take down this Typhlosion, leaving just the Espeon to deal with the rest of this team. But of course Espeon starts off weak with the spikes. The Espeon going for Dazzling Gleam and taking out the Hisuian Samurott. and then is replaced by the Hisuian Typhlosion, who frisks the Focus Sash, so guaranteed going to survive a hit. The Shadow Ball doesn't even take it down to its Sash, with the Hisuian Typhlosion going the Infernal Parade and taking down the Espeon, leaving the Sylphic Sylveon as the winners of this battle of Week 1. Really good showing from both teams. I think that Tinkaton sacrifice with the Parasong was really important to get that Gigaton Hammer off. Because if it didn't, that Solrock would have been able to just Cosmic Power and survive. So I do think that Tinkaton sacrifice to just get that hammer off, I think that was a really good move. Really good showing from both teams, though. I'm surprised that the Murkrow wasn't running any sort of haze or anything to get rid of the spikes. Because that spikes has just taken down so much damage from that team, left them so weak. But yeah, really, really fun. Oh, you couldn't have swapped down anyway. I actually don't know if it goes away if the user faints. I'm gonna have to look into that. But yeah, that was the really exciting battle.